conference, I was reading, and people keep saying after the John Ryder fight, Canelo Alvarez isn't the same anymore. Maybe it's the wrist, maybe it's the knee.
They're right. They're right.
What do you think?
They're right because I'm not able to train 100% on those fights for my hand. I'm not able to train 100%, but right now I'm able to train 100%. I can work with Eddie in the pads and everything. You see the videos. I can, and when you don't training, when you don't have that kind of training camps, you don't confident 100% in what you do, right? But right now, I'm just glad. I'm happy to be able to train 100% and working with Eddie with the pads and hit the heavy backs hard.
Yeah.
So that made me feel confident.
With that jab, but Canelo landed a clean 1-2. With that jab, but Canelo landed a clean 1-2. Right hand of Ryder, and then straight down the pipe with that right hand. Beautiful right hand right there.
Don't think your brother's ready. I want you to, are you interested in that fight? Were you surprised?
I was a little surprised, I knew that my brother should have been the main topic of this conversation, but it's just some type of way I always found myself in one of those wars, and if this is what it is, and it's with the best fighter in the world, I might as well go ahead and do that. So I think that I was surprised, man. I was really astounded.
And so how do you keep from, I think sometimes guys get in these kind of fights, and even though they say, hey, look, I'm ready for it, they look over there across the ring and say, shoot, that's Floyd, that's Canelo. And that kind of messes with them. How do you keep that from happening and say, that's just a regular fighter?
Right. I feel you on that. I'm just a huge competitor. Like, I really strive to be one of the best and always wanting to go through what it takes to become the best. And I knew fighting Canelo one day, it could be a possibility. But I kind of lost touch into even wanting to fight him. And I became like, hey, man, I look up to him. He hella rich. He got everything in the world. He beaten up some of the greatest fighters, the best in his division, fought 18 world champions. And that's because I was at 54. So I'm like, oh, he out of reach now. He kind of moved a little too far. And I knew my brother had that opportunity. So I never really looked at it like that. But then as the moment comes and it gets closer, I'm down. I'll fight anybody. Like, I'll jump in the ring with whoever I got to fight just to be there. And Canelo's another guy to me. And so that's what it's going to be when it's coming on the fight night.
We will see here. It's going to be a short right hand. Charlo that just landed perfectly. And there was Erickson Lubin really wanted to try and get up. There was just no way he could conceivably do it. Thank goodness he's okay. There was actually a moment there when you were about that. There was a right hand. It was thrown kind of in an awkward fashion, but just the perfect. But
also, it is also Erickson ducked into it too.
Yes.
So it's also that double impact kind of thing, Really a shame because I think this would have been such a high level intensity fight.
There's the right hand on the inside. It's even, it's hard to discern it.
He put him to sleep immediately, though.
Because of the angle the punch was thrown from, but that was astonishing and shocking.
And to think that Jamel Charlo, was supposed to be the lesser of the punchers in the Charlo twins. Since he joined Derek James, he's been a fistic flamethrower out.
He has indeed, and he is reveling there in the adulations for this crowd, and he felt very strongly that he.
Meeting at 168 to thump for Canelo's 4 belts.
We are here inside the Palladium in Times Square in New York City. Undisputed versus undisputed. Canelo versus Charlo.
Charlo is great fighter and disputed in his weight class. He take challenge like me.
When you want to win something this big, you got to risk it all.
Here we go. There it is. There it is.
I feel like my personal journey to fighting Canelo could have been from the beginning of me in boxing, because we was both with Golden Boy Promotions at the same time, like 21 years old. We was young. Canelo was already, I would consider like the spoiled kid already. Like he had it all. Golden Boy was giving him good fights. He fought Mayweather. He was selling out arenas in San Antonio, 40,000 people, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, he a fan favorite. And, okay, the kid with the red hair, oh yeah, he gonna be a star.
They both rely on that punch a lot.
Against Jorge Cota, Lubin introduced him to his left hand nicknamed Sledge. His nickname, of course, is Hammer. But 11 of his knockouts. Challenges Lubin!
5, 6.
Tremendous Lubin in the first round!
We believe created the cut. That, we believe, created the cut over the left eye of Charlo. Later in the round, though, I mentioned Charlo would want to land the right hand. He sets it up by pawing with the jab. There's the jab, there's the straight right hand, and you could have called this a knockdown, because as he goes backwards, it is the ropes that keep him up.
Charlo rocked Perez at the end of that third round, drove him to the ropes, and worked him, particularly with his left, but with nice flurries of punches right here. And wisely,